Imagine you just spent $150 million on a car. You drive it off the lot, and the windshield wipers don't work. The air conditioning fails above 95 degrees. And every time it rains, the paint starts to peel. You'd return it. Right. Now imagine the dealership says, "Don't worry. We'll fix it." That'll be another $50 million. Welcome to the F-35 Lightning II, the most expensive weapon system in human history. $2 trillion. That's not a typo. $2 trillion. That's more than NASA's entire 66-year history. Enough to rebuild America's crumbling infrastructure. Twice. And after 23 years of development, it still has 800 unfixed defects. But here's what they don't want you to know. The F-35 isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. Just not for you. Today, we're going to tear down the three mechanisms that turned America's fighter jet into the world's most profitable failure. The casino, the hostage, and the con. Quick note before we dive in, this is analysis and research. Not professional, financial, or political advice. But understanding these mechanisms, that's something every taxpayer deserves. Let's start with mechanism number 1. In 2001, the Pentagon announced the Joint Strike Fighter program. The original budget, $233 billion. Fast forward to today. The current estimate, $2 trillion over a 70-year life cycle. That's a 760% cost overrun. In any normal business, this would be bankruptcy. In defense contracting, it's a bonus. Meet the cost-plus contract, the golden goose of defense spending. Here's how it works. Lockheed Martin gets paid their costs, plus a percentage as profit, usually around 10%. Higher costs, higher profit. Think about that for a second. Imagine your plumber charged you 10% of whatever the repair costs. Would he ever find a simple fix? Of course not. He'd find every pipe in your house that needs replacing. That's the F-35 in a nutshell. The GAO, the Government Accountability Office, has been screaming about this for years. In their 2023 report, they wrote, and I quote, "The program lacks adequate cost controls, and the contractor has limited incentive to reduce costs." Limited incentive. That's government speak, for they make more money when things go wrong. Every delay, every redesign, every unfixed defect. Ka-ching. The original engine supplier, they went over budget. More profit. The software team, they needed more time. More profit. The ejection seat that can kill pilots under 136 pounds, still being fixed. More profit. The F-35 isn't over budget. It's perfectly on budget for Lockheed Martin. But cost plus alone couldn't make this program unstoppable. For that, you need mechanism number 2. Here's a map. Every blue dot is a supplier for the F-35. Count them. 45 states, 1,500 suppliers, 300,000 jobs. Coincidence? Absolutely not. This is called political distribution, and it's genius. Lockheed Martin didn't scatter suppliers across 45 states because it was efficient. They did it because it was bulletproof. When parts are made in 45 states, you have 90 senators who will fight to the death to keep this program alive. Not because it works, because their voters' jobs depend on it. Try canceling the F-35, and you're not just killing a weapons program, you're killing American jobs in nearly every state. Every senator, every congressman, they have a factory in their district. Vote to cancel the F-35. Your opponent runs ads about the jobs you killed. It's political suicide. Lockheed Martin spends $12.5 million per year on lobbying. That's not a secret. It's public record on opensecrets.org. But here's the real investment campaign donations. The top recipients, members of the Armed Services Committees. The ones who approve defense budgets. And when was the last time Congress cancelled a major defense program? Oh wait. The B-2 bomber. The F-22. The Zumwalt destroyer. All over budget. All trebled. All still funded. It's not corruption. That's too simple. It's incentive alignment. The program is designed to make cancellation politically impossible. The F-35 isn't too big to fail. It was designed to be too big to cancel. But even political protection has limits. So they built in one more safeguard. Mechanism number 3. Here's a word that cost taxpayers $400 billion. Concurrency. It sounds technical. It's actually a magic trick. Normal development works like this: design, test, fix problems, then build. Simple, logical, cheap. F-35 development worked like this: design, build, test, find problems, retrofit everything you already built. They started manufacturing planes before they finished testing. Why? Because retrofitting 500 jets is way more profitable than fixing a design on paper. Think about it. If you find a problem in the design phase, you change a blueprint. Cost maybe a few million. If you find a problem after building 300 planes, you retrofit every single one. Cost billions? Guess which one Lockheed prefers? The retrofit bills so far, $14 billion. The software has gone through more than 40 versions, each one a new contract. And now there's Block 4, the next major upgrade. Estimated cost, $16.5 billion. The GAO's 2021 report stated, quote, "Concurrency has added significant cost and extended the development timeline." Significant cost. Extended timeline. For Lockheed Martin, that's not a bug. That's the business model. They didn't build a plane. They built a subscription service. Now, with these 3 mechanisms in place, let's look at the result. The Pentagon calls them deficiencies. The media calls them problems. But through the lens of our 3 mechanisms, they're features. The GAO's 2024 report documented more than 800 known defects. Category 1 defects, the ones that could get pilots killed, at least 10. Category 2 defects, the ones that degrade the mission, more than 800. Years to fix them, quote, unknown. Let that sink in. 23 years of development, $2 trillion. And the official timeline to fix the defects is unknown. Each defect is a future contract. Each problem is a future profit. Let me give you some specifics. The ejection seat. If a pilot weighs under 136 pounds, which includes many female pilots, the seat can snap their neck on ejection. Still not fixed. The fuel tank. It's vulnerable to lightning strikes. In a plane that flies through thunderstorms. Still not fixed. The radar. It requires a reset mid-flight because it overheats. In a stealth fighter where radar is everything. Still not fixed. The gun. It couldn't hit a target until 2017. And when it did, the vibration cracked the stealth coating. 23 years. $2 trillion. And the ejection seat can kill the pilot. You cannot make this stuff up. 800 defects isn't incompetence. It's 800 opportunities for future funding. But here's where it hits your wallet directly. How much does it cost to fly an F-35 for 1 hour? $44,000. That's not a typo. $44,000 per hour. Let's compare. The F-16. The plane, the F-35, is supposed to replace $22,000 per flight hour. The F-18, $24,000. The F-35, $44,000. The F-35 costs double its predecessors to operate. And the Pentagon plans to buy 2,500 of them. That's not including the planes we've already bought, or the ones we're committed to. Every single hour, $44,000. For decades. Let's do the math. $2 trillion over 70 years. That's $28.5 billion per year. Or $85 per American. Per year. Forever. Every family of 4 in America is paying $340 a year for a plane that can't fly in thunderstorms. And that's if the costs don't go up. Which they will. They don't sell you a plane. They sell you dependency. And the worst part, they're doing it again. The F-35 isn't just a program. It's a template. Cost plus contracts. Political distribution. Concurrency. Once you see it, you'll see it everywhere. Future combat systems. The Army's next-generation vehicle network. $20 billion spent before it was cancelled. Same pattern. The Zumwalt destroyer. The Navy's stealth ship. $22 billion for 3 ships. That's $7 billion per ship. Original estimate, $1 billion each. The B-21 Raider. The next stealth bomber. How much does it cost? Classified. How many are they building? Classified. Where are the suppliers? 43 states. Sound familiar? The NGAD. Next generation air dominance. The fighter jet that will replace the F-35. Cost estimate, already classified. Development approach, concurrency. The playbook doesn't change, because the playbook works. Every time you see a $50 billion defense contract, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it cost plus? How many states have suppliers? Are they building before testing? If the answer is yes to all 3, you're watching the playbook in action. So what does all this mean? The F-35 didn't fail. The incentive structure succeeded. $2 trillion. 800 defects. 23 years of development. And Lockheed Martin stock is up 900% since 2001. The plane was never the product. You were. So what can you do? Understand the mechanisms. Cost. Plus. Political distribution. Concurrency. Because when the next $100 billion program comes around, and it will, you'll know exactly what you're looking at. This isn't about panic. It's about pattern recognition. The system won't change until enough people understand how it actually works. If this helped you see the system more clearly, hit that like button. It helps more people understand how their money is really being spent. Subscribe if you want to keep pulling back the curtain on systems that don't want to be seen. And check out this video on why the Pentagon has never passed an audit. It's the same playbook. Different chapter. Until next time, stay informed. Stay skeptical. And don't let the contractors bite.